everybody, it's Topwater Johnny, and in this bass fishing video, I'll be reviewing the Jackall Kaera frog and the Deps Slither-K. Let's go. Whoa, there we go. Yeah! Woo, holy cow, folks. Topwater Johnny here, man. This is what we came here for. Look at that. Get back here. Look at that right there. That's the kind of beast that we came here for. There we go. Woo! And that one hooked. Hey everybody, it's Topwater Johnny here. Want to welcome you to the next video here. In this video, we're going to be doing a lure review of two heavy cover topwater frogs. Now, as the year progresses here, you're going to need some frogs in your tackle box because everybody knows that frog fishing can be really exciting. But the question is always, which frogs are the right frogs for the right situations? And so in this video, I'm going to be showing you two different frogs that are built for heavy cover. The first one is going to be the Jackall Kaera frog. And then the second one that we're going to look at is the Deps Slither-K frog. So those are going to be the two frogs that we take a closer look at. So what I want to do right now is go ahead and jump right into a closer look of the Jackall Kaera frog. All right. Okay, everybody, here is the Jackall Kaera frog. It is 2 1/4 in length. It also weight is a ½ an ounce, but some people also said it might weigh 3/8 of an ounce. It has the silicone legs, as you can see right here. Also, this one right here has a heavy design on the side right here. It's got a flat top, unique flat top on the top of it, which allows it to push water. On the bottom here, as you can see, has the typical little piece there to keep the water out on the bottom of the frog. It has the vertical tie line right there as well. Also, this particular frog has, when you apply a little bit of pressure to it, the hooks are already pointing up, as you can already see, so they're already set and ready to go. In the back here, as you can see, is where the water is dispersed out at, so you can see the hole where the water is pushed out as well. What I wanted to do was give you guys a closer look at that, and I'll continue on with this frog and give you my final thoughts. All right, everybody. Well, that completes our closer look of the Kaera, and that might be Kaera or Kaera frog. I want to show it to you one more time here. You can actually get this frog just about at any of the online retailers, but you can definitely get it at Tackle Warehouse. The retail price right now is being listed at $9.95. One of the things that I want to show you here about this lure, and this is all about heavy cover here, but it's got a flat top on it right here, which really makes the actual hooks to the top of it become truly weedless here. Look how contoured it is right there. So the hooks itself really seem in there really nice for when you're throwing this into the really heavy cover here, like heavy vegetation. It does a smooth walk the dog. It's a little bit smaller than most frogs that you're going to see in the marketplace out here. A little bit more compact, but those hooks are big and robust, as you can see right there. So you don't have to do any kind of like modifications of them as well. As I said before, it's got a spot where the water actually is ejected out of this frog itself here. So as I said, no need to bend the hooks. But also some things to understand about this lure right here is that based on its design, it does sit low in the water column. So it's not one of those frogs that sit up really high where you see everything of the frog. It'll be sitting much lower because of, one, where the hook tie is, but then also just in its overall construction as well. It's got a small profile, which means it definitely will cast really far. I did a review online of this particular one, and some people said it was a ½ an ounce. Some people said it was 3/8 ounce. I'm not really sure. I don't really have the total measurements on it. But when you put this on braid, and I would put this on, 20, 30 pound braid, this thing will definitely cast really, really far. And so my attitude about it is that, and as you can see, the actual back here, normally guys will cut these right here, they're already trimmed short. So this lure really out of the box is designed and built ready to go. So Jackall did a great job with this lure here. And I'm definitely going to be fishing this one here in definitely heavy cover, heavy lily pads, and really trying to work it just to see what type of action I can get on it. Now, always remember when you're doing top water, especially with a frog, that initial blow up is really exciting. But once they blow up, you got to pause just for a second to allow that bass to commit to the bite, because that's why sometimes when bass hit them, the lure flies all over the place because they fully didn't bite down on it here. So once again, when you're using these kind of frogs, you gotta wait. You gotta pause and wait just a moment to allow that bass to inhale and take on this full bait right here. So what I wanted to do was just give you a little bit more information about this lure here. As you can see, it has a vertical tie right here, which is really allowing it, once it's hooked in there, which is allowing it to go up and down quite a bit like this. It does go right to left because it does walk the dog, but you'll notice it'll be doing more of this right here based on how that line tie is. So once again, I'm definitely impressed with this lure, and this really just kind of completes my discussion of it. All right. Okay, well, that completed our closer look at the Jackall Kaera frog. And now what I want to do is do a closer look of the Deps Slither-K frog. Okay. All right, everybody, here is the Deps Slither-K frog. It's 2 1/4 length. It's 3/8 in ounce. It has actually, instead of silicone legs, it actually has fur in the back, which this is actually rabbit fur in the back attached. Also, what makes this one unique is that it has a very heavy weight system on the bottom, and the sides are very grooved in order to allow this to really walk the dog right to left, really strong. Also, the tie is horizontal instead of vertical. Also, along with that, it is a soft-bodied frog, and the frog is very soft. As you can see right there, very soft, and those hooks are razor sharp. The other thing about this one here, as you can see in the back here, is that there are, when I get that right, there are 2 actual holes in the back of the frog that allows it to release water out of the back of it. And I'll give you guys a closer look at that in just a few minutes. But this is our closer look at the actual Slither-K by Deps. All right. Okay, well, we just completed our closer look of the Deps Slither-K frog. So I'm going to bring that frog right back up here and show it to you again. This frog right here is actually, you can buy it at Tackle Warehouse. The price is $19.99. And it's definitely a much more expensive frog in itself here. But there's some things that are about this that makes this frog a little bit different, a little bit more unique. So you look, first of all, the line tie. The line tie is actually not vertical, but horizontal, which means it's going to do an automatic walk the dog just like that, because once you tie on, you're really going to have no trouble at all doing a walk the dog with this particular lure right here. Also, this lure not only can go into heavy cover, but it also can do great in open water with vegetation. So like you're fishing open water or a pond that has grass out in the center of it, you can throw this right in there. Here on the bottom is that weight system right here. So this one does dig down deep into the water column, meaning into the vegetation, so it can get down deep there. It's also very, very soft. Look how much hook penetration you're gonna have right there. Also in the back here, and I mentioned this in the closer look, look at that. It has 2 air holes right there. 2 air holes, which allow for it to disperse out water, but also get this. If a bass bites it, all the air shoots out really, really fast, which exposes the hooks. And that really, to me, is a real nice feature on this particular lure right here. Now, it isn't really bound super tight to the actual lure itself here. There's a little bit of room in there, a little bit of air in between there. But man, when that thing gives, there's going to be nothing but hook that bass is going to get. Also, this is in the back. instead of those legs, it's got a rabbit tail in the back. A rabbit. So what does that mean? When this gets wet, this thing also starts to undulate. They said undulate or maybe just pulsate in the water. So this is actually rabbit tail right here. If you want to know whether or not it'll tear, according to some reviews, it will after 100 bites. A guy literally fished this and caught 100 bass on it. And after the 100th bass, then it finally started to tear up. And then he went to some fly bait store that sells fly gear. And he used that kind of material that you would buy for someone that's a fly fisherman, and he put that back on the back of it, and he was good to go again. This right here definitely works great on windy days when you're dealing in heavy cover, heavy vegetation, and windy days. So it definitely will sit tight and walk the dog and hold the spot. In other words, this lure, because of the contouredness of it, will hold that strike zone spot. Just think about it. You've got this piece right here on the bottom. You've got this side. The sides are all smoothed out. So when this is going right to left, it will hold the spot longer. So when you're walking the dog, you can hold and walk the dog in the same spot for a lot longer. So definitely heavy cover, sticks, lily pads, brush. This thing will work excellent in that as well. Like I said before, soft hooks, and also a really cool design as far as how the line tie works here. I haven't caught any fish on this as of yet, but I'm going to take this one out this year and take it through its paces so that I can show you really what it does. And so I'm really excited to get this lure out in the water and run some tests on it. So what that is, that completes our discussion about the Deps Slither-K. All right. Okay, everybody. Well, just gave you a review of both of these lures here. I'm going to hold them back up again here. Look at that. I want to show up close. Notice over here, the ring tie on this one here is vertical, and this one right here is horizontal, and they're both heavy cover. Both built for heavy cover fishing, but yet the ties are a little bit different. Although this one will walk the dog as well, this one is made to walk the dog here. Also, a couple of things about these particular lures here. When it comes to your frog fishing, and those guys out there, and you guys know this, that sometimes the hookup ratio is a big issue. That's why this is so important here. How flexible is this right here? How are the actual hooks poised and pointed up on both of these? As you can see, lots of room here on this one here for a great hook set. One of the ways that you can improve your ratio is to put on there a stinger hook. And so just think about it this way. You put a stinger hook onto your lure, onto your frog, and now you've got the frogs set just like this right here. So you've got your stinger hook in the back, and you've got your frog hooks ready to go in the front here. Show you on the other one here as well. You got your hooks here. When I put them on here in the back, now all of a sudden I've got my stinger hook in the back here. This right here is a piece that I got from Bass Pro Shop. And this right here, definitely for those out there that are having trouble hooking up on bass, on frogs, this might give you a little bit more advantage when you're fishing a frog, improve your hookup ratio as well. I've used this before. It really does help. But more importantly, I think it gives you a little bit more confidence when you are fishing a frog. Now, once you have your confidence there and you believe in what you're doing, then you probably won't need a stinger hook in the back anymore. But I think that when you're trying to catch fish and you're using a frog and you keep missing them, this is something that you can use. Now, this will cause you potentially to not be weedless. So you got to be conscious of that when you're fishing with this right here. Once again, I want to show you guys these two frogs. As you can see right here, they're totally different frogs. I want to show you the bottom here. Remember what I told you about here. There is a weight system on the Seth over here, whereas on the actual Jackall Kaera, there isn't one. It's just the typical hole that protects it from water, where this one has a true weight system in here that kind of really affects the balance of it as well. These two lures, to me, are great lures, and each one definitely has a place in your tackle box. And I think it's really about you saying to yourself, you know, if you're going to be successful this year when you frog fish, it's all about saying, hey, you know what? Where am I fishing at? What type of cover are these bass going to be in? And which one of these lures can improve my odds? Maybe you want to go with the Jackall Kaera at first, trying that one out. Or maybe you want to try out the Deps Slither-K frog first. But in either case, everybody needs a frog in their tackle box. Now, whether you get these frogs or other frogs, my goal was to give you some ideas, some things to think about when you're out there on the water fishing. Remember, when the bass blows up on the frog, you got to pause for a second so that the bass can commit to the bite, and then you set the hook. I know it's exciting. I love frog fishing. I love topwater, but I love frog fishing, and I know how that feels. So that's why, once again, the stinger hook may help you get a little bit more, get you a little bit more calmer and relaxed when they blow up, because you know you got that stinger hook to catch them. So once again, everybody, that completes my review of these two frogs. I hope you enjoyed these reviews here. What my goal to do in the future videos is, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually intro video. I'm just showing you what I'm going to do in the future here. I'm going to intro my videos, then I'm going to take you right out onto the water and start fishing. And then at the end of my videos, I'm going to do what I call a topwater debrief of that fishing adventure, because I think that it's important that we have that conversation about what happens on the water, because that's what makes us better fishermen. And me sharing you my experiences and what I've seen, I really think makes a big difference. So what I'm going to try to do is open up my videos as you've always seen them open, and then I'm going to take us right out on the water. I'll announce the lure, then I'll just start fishing with it. And then at the end of the video, that's where I'll do the debrief, and I'll talk about it a little bit more in depth, give you advice about it, give you the prices, the equipment, all those kind of things. For those that really are curious, these two lures right here, you can fish them on a spinner, but I'm going to fish them on a bait caster, and I'm going to have 30-pound braid. So I'm just letting you know that that's kind of what I'm going to put these on and fish them and see what happens. Also, finally, please like, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification so you're notified whenever I'm dropping new videos here. I just want you guys to know how much I appreciate you guys. Over the last 9 to 10 months, it's been quite the journey here. And I'm really reaching some milestones in my channel. And I just want to thank you guys once again for being a part of that. Please leave a comment below. Which one of these lures do you like? Which one would you like to add to your tackle box? Or if you do have them already, then tell me about them. Let me know what you think about them, and so that I can gain more understanding as well. So once again, this is Topwater Johnny. I want to thank each and every one of you for checking out this video, and I want you to always remember that phrase. Keep your line tight, because when they hit those topwater lures, especially one of these two lures right here, it's going to be a big bite. All right.